If this is your first time on this page, please do not forget the subscribe button is found somewhere here. Press that subscribe button like this and equally like this video so that YouTube will recommend to many more people and they will be able to get this material, because the material is very important and I think it's going to help a lot of people. If we can push the video to 10,000 viewers, then this will help a lot of people. Now, let's talk about this. There is something a lot of people have been asking me, and I think it's high time I address this here because it looks like a lot of students don't know. First, I will address the issue of funding opportunities in the United States. And secondly, I will address the issue of the diploma. But first, let me start with the issue of diplomas in Canada. All right, this is just a random video. I will equally touch some sections in Norway as well. So I want to talk about the issue of diplomas in Canada first. Now, if you must apply for diplomas in Canada, you should understand that there are requirements needed for this. Diplomas are of two types. It's either you have a postgraduate diploma or you have a normal diploma. All right. And if you want to apply for a normal diploma, basically your high school qualifications are enough to get you through to the admission portal and, of course, get you the offer letter. Now, if you are going to be applying for what is called the postgraduate diploma, you should know that you have to use something called the bachelor's degree or a degree after your high school or any certificate that is above your high school qualifications. Maybe a vocational training certificate or maybe an HND certificate. And remember, sometimes most of these institutions, especially the colleges, they will want you to demonstrate that you actually know English. All right. That is to say, you can speak English, you can write, and you can communicate better. So that is how it functions. Now, this is the case for diploma. So if you have just these qualifications, you can then move in with ease. There is no problem about that. Then the other thing you need to note is that most scholarships in the United States, I'm still going to talk about that. Most scholarships in the United States, there is a time frame in which you are going to be applying for them. Now, before I even continue with the scholarships in the United States, I equally want you to understand that there are three intakes when it comes to diploma programs in Canada, especially. There is a January intake, that is to say, this is the time in which lectures will start. Then there is the May intake. This is the time, another season, or let me say another time in which lectures will start. Then you equally have September. Lectures equally start in September, all right? So this is something you need to put into consideration. Now, let's look at the issue of the scholarships. If you want to apply for a scholarship, you need to pay attention to time. Time and planning is very important, or let me say planning is very important, because if you do not plan well, it's going to be difficult, extremely difficult for you to pull through. Why do I say so? Most of these scholarships that you see, they will always give them to people that come first and people that are highly qualified. So in order to meet up with requirements, first of all, you need to apply first early, be an early candidate. Secondly, there is a particular time frame you have to apply for the scholarships. First, if you want to apply for scholarships, you should be chasing September, October, November, and December. This is the time you should be applying for this stuff. And remember that after these months, the maximum time, or let me say, if you are late, it should be December, January, because there is this time frame is the time that they are going to be selecting, especially when it comes to masters and PhD students, because they are not going to take many students. For PhD students, they might decide to take maybe 20 students in the entire university. And before you know, 1,000 people will be applying for the program. So you need to put this into consideration. It is very, very important, because I see a lot of people, they are like, I want to apply for scholarships. I want to apply for scholarship. Most of you do not know the time frame. There are particular scholarships that when you apply for, are part of graduate schools funding opportunities out there. If you apply to other scholarships like maybe the Erasmus Mundus, all right, the Chevening Scholarship, the Commonwealth, and all these scholarships are fully funded scholarships or fully funded opportunities. If you apply to them on time, you are going to get something if you are highly qualified. But if you apply late, before you go, maybe they receive 200 applications and they have to select just 5 people per program. And if you were to qualify before you go, somebody else might have taken your position. So the time to apply for the scholarships is very important. And remember, no matter the videos that you watch, all right, like I said, the best time for you to apply for grad school funding scholarship opportunities in the USA is September, October, November, December. So you should put this at the back of your mind. It is very, very important. Now, the easiest way to easily navigate into most of these schools, if you are finding difficulties going into universities, take certificate programs, diploma programs, either a normal diploma or a postgraduate diploma. This is the reason. Maybe you already have a bachelor's degree and you are going in for a diploma. If your target is just to move in there, then it will be easy for the admissions team to give you an admissions offer, because you already have a bachelor's degree but you are applying for a diploma program. But remember, you have to defend yourself at the level of the visa. All right, because if you do not defend yourself at the level of the visa, they will look at it as you are having misinformation. Make sure that the program you are applying for at that particular time, if you actually dropped out of school long time ago, maybe 3 to 4 years, what you should be applying for at that particular time is what your work entails. Let's say you did history and you are doing something with the financial sector, apply for something related to finance and make sure you back it up while you are applying for that program. Don't apply for something that is related to history again. Or if you are applying for something related to history, then you should be able to tailor your statement of purpose or your letter of explanation related to the program so that they understand it well. All right, these are some of the things that you must do, and it's very important to note this. All right, I hope you gain something from here. Please, there is something I want you to do for me. Just one thing. Press the like button of this particular video. Just like the video, because when you like the video, YouTube is going to recommend to other people, and of course YouTube will signal many more people, and when they watch, I in turn get visibility, benefit from the video, and of course I can drink water from this content that I'm producing. Yes, that is fact. Please give me water to drink by liking this video. Thank you so much for doing it. So guys, like I always say, my aim of creating this YouTube channel is to make impact in at least one person's life. All right, that is to say, I want to change a life, at least one. Now, few days back, I made a video about how you can successfully study in Canada, and of course getting your permanent residency, not just the postgraduate work permit, but getting your permanent residency. And I said that video was for broke people like myself, because I'm very broke. All right, I come from a broke family, and I believe that there are a lot of other Africans or other youths out there whose dreams are bigger than mine. I was not in this position in 2015, but I want to share my experience and also teach somebody. Like I said, if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch that video. I said, if you are broke and you are looking for a community college in Canada, locate colleges in British Columbia, and I lay emphasis on Saskatchewan, most especially because they have a particular pilot, a particular study pathway, work visa pathway or something, which I don't really remember, but there is a particular pathway where you can easily get work permit or work documents, and of course permanent residency in the state. Is it the province of Saskatchewan? Assume that your tuition fee is $10,000 Canadian dollars. Then you have to now prove 20,000 Canadian dollars for your 1-year diploma program. Now, assuming that you are going to a state university, you will need more than that. Assuming that you are going into a 2 years diploma program or postgraduate program, you will need more than that. Now, you are going for just 1 year because of what? You are broke. When you finish, you now launch an application. All right. Of course, there are no persons or the people who want to work are limited in these places. Most citizens or the Canadian citizens are not interested in the jobs in these areas. Now, what happens? They will now jejely sign your document without looking backward. But if you try to impose this, or you try to do this in Ontario, it will be difficult for you. This is few facts a lot of people don't know. So I'm here to spill the truth today. Now, if you are a broke person and you finally got an admission to study in Canada, I assume that we are all broke. Of course, there are rich people, we know, but I am assuming that if you are watching me, we are all broke. Let's do an assumption like that, not insult to anybody, guys. Now, if you finally get your work, your study permit, not your study permit, but your admissions offer to study in this Canadian university. Now, you have struggled and somebody gave you maybe proof of funds or maybe documents to prove that you have money to take care of yourself, which you don't even have at all. Now, remember, there are other documents you need to prove to the officials, the visa officials, remember there is no face-to-face interview. Therefore, you only have to prove yourself using your documentation. Remember, family ties are very important. Ties that you are going to return back home, because your program is 1 year and you have to convince the visa official to give you the visa to go and study that program and return back home. Never you mention that you are not going to return home. You must prove to them that you will come back home. That is the first thing. Family ties, or maybe ties back home, or ties in your home country. Another thing now is proof of funds. Make sure you demonstrate that you have the money. I always emphasize that your parents, all right, your brothers, your sisters, that's your father and your mother, or your brothers and sisters, should be the best people to do this proof of funds for you. But there are other ways you can do proof of funds which you have to verify. It is still very okay. But if you don't have these other methods, do not leave your visa application unchecked because you don't have proof of funds. Make sure you go and attend your interview even if you don't have proof of funds. Please take this from me today. I'm telling you this because somebody got admissions in the USA. She is now in the USA, whereas he did not show proof of funds. Yes, this is pure facts. People will not tell you. You know, on social media, people will say, my good side, how I got admissions, how I proved my funds, and blah, blah, blah. Those people that are struggling, you will not see them on the internet, except somebody like us who have the platform. We bring them here to tell you. Somebody got admissions to study in the USA. The parents could not afford anything. The sisters or siblings could not afford anything. Then he went to the embassy with a big file like this without proof of funds inside. This is pure facts, I'm telling you. And she got the visa. Yes, she got it. She's now in the USA. The school gave her scholarship. What happened? She just buckled up herself and went to the embassy as if he already got every document with a very big file. Sat there, why are you going to the USA? He answered. What are you going to do? She answered. What course are you going to study and where? She answered. Blah blah blah. She answered, and at the end of the day, they did not ask for proof of funds. That is pure miracles. That is why I'm telling you people that even if you do not have proof of funds, proof the documents. But of course, remember, for Canada, you are not going straight to face like for United States. So automatically, they might be checking to see how much money you have. Okay, they would obviously check. So please do not leave your visa application without and say that you don't have proof of funds. No, don't do that. Even if you don't write it there, even if you don't have it, write a letter attached to your motivation letter and tell the visa official that, yes, I know I don't have proof of funds, but I'm able to pay my flight, but I know that I'll be able to cope using this, some certain scholarship, quote examples. But I'm not saying that you should apply for a visa without proof of funds. It's not good, but in some cases, miracles can happen for you. So guys, put this into consideration. Now, some of the things you should include your educational credentials. Of course, you need those documents. Okay, then you equally need other documentations. Now, proof of funds has to be among the documents, and you need to prove. I have said that bank statement should be at least 6 months. Please make sure you draft a good bank statement, because that is the bank statement or proof of funds documents that is going to help you. Don't go and meet people to give you fake bank statement. All right, I'm still going to talk about another scenario I saw. I want to elaborate on it so that a lot of people can learn, please. Now, among the bank statement, you have a document called the motivation letter. This is the letter that would determine the visa official to give you the letter, to give you the visa, even if your bank statement is not correct. That is why I said pay attention to the proof of funds. It's very important. Now, what are you going to be writing on that motivation letter? You address it to who? The visa official, not so to the honorable consular. All right. Then, dear sir, madam, the next statement, you talk who you are and what you are applying for and what you are going to study, right? That is the first paragraph. The second paragraph should be in that same motivation letter. Remember, it is called a motivation letter or a statement of purpose. Why are you going to study in this particular university? You have to elaborate why you are going to study in this particular university. Another paragraph, what actually impress you to go and study in Canada, because that university is found in Canada, not so. So why did you choose Canada? Should be the next thing you are going to do over there. Okay, when you finish answering these questions, they have to go chronologically. All right, make sure you convince them to believe that what you are putting in for, you are going to do it successfully. It is very, very important for you to make sure that the visa official understand why you are studying the program. Why did you choose the program? Why did you choose Canada? All right, this particular program, why did you choose it, despite the fact that you have studied civil engineering before, computer technology before, philosophy before, or maybe physics or mathematics? These are some of the things that you need to put into consideration. They are very, very important, and you need to ask questions. All right, try to write the letter very well, and if you don't have all the details, ask questions to people that will be willing to tell you some of these things. There are people willing to help. If you write a comment now in the comment section of this YouTube channel, of course I'm going to reply you. I'll reply you. If it's something I know, I will tell you. If it's something I don't know, I will not say anything because I don't know it. Then another very big important thing is who is going to be your sponsor. Write about your personal and academic qualifications in another paragraph. Then you talk about your sponsorship. How are you going to finance your education? How are you going to be sponsoring? Did you pay any first deposit before? Did you pay any money to the university before? You have to explain all these things to them so that they understand what you are going in for. I already talked about why the Canada, why the program, and of course you have to talk about your future ambitions. All right, do not give the visa official impressions that you do not have a plan. All right, like I said, your plan is always that you are going to return back home, so you have to talk specifically. Remember, when you start mentioning A from above, make sure you mention A till you reach the last point, because if you mix up the things, there is going to be a very serious threat or problem to your application. Please do not make this error. It is very important for you to draft the statement of purpose very well. It is a very important document. I hope this video is going to help you. Make sure that before you apply to any university in Canada, you should already have someone or people that are going to stand for you. If you don't have, do not apply. But like I said, in the case of the United States, when you are going face to face, you might be asked to provide the proof of funds. You might not be asked to provide the proof of funds. But in this case, even if you don't have the proof of funds, go for the interview. When they ask for your proof of funds, tell them what you want to say, but speak intelligently. All right, you can speak intelligently if you think that there is a scholarship you are trying to woo from the university. This is going to be helping, and this is going to help you a lot. Like I said, miracles do happen. Do not give up at a certain stage, because if you give up, people who didn't give up will succeed and you will remain behind. This is the truth, and this is pure facts I'm telling you. This is pure facts I'm telling you. A lot of people, you will not see a lot of people on the internet that got visas this way. I'm telling you something. So instead of you withdrawing, make sure you drop your application. Make sure you drop your application. Procrastinating and prolonging your stuff is dangerous. Do not procrastinate. It is very important, guys. Have the spirit of a giant. Go and face them like a fighter. You already know your situation. So are you going to fold your arms and say no? Go and face them like a fighter. I wish everybody luck in this visa application that is coming up. So international students, if you are thinking of studying in the Czech Republic, remember that proof of funds is going to be in your own personal bank account. All right, I get students offer, they are like, Milton, where is the money going to be? It is going to be in your bank account. All right, then there are other countries that you may want your parents to sponsor you, but for this particular place, it is going to be in your own personal bank account. Please pay attention to this. It is very, very important.